Aloha and welcome back. This is Natasha. So today I'm going to be doing a couple of cards with the special edition Simon Says stamp card kit. I started off with this palette die. I'm going to be taking some of that stick-it adhesive that came in the kit, adding that to some white cardstock, and then I'm going to run the die through my die cutting machine again. And I'm going to be using the deco foil, the rainbow shattered glass that came in the kit this month. I'm going to be taking one of those, well, they're all kind of rainbows, but taking one sheets, and then this, just adding the different colors to each one of these, the paint splatters or the paint, I don't know what you call it, but so I just added all the different colors there. I cut out just by hand a piece of cardstock and then filled that up with some double-sided adhesive, and then I put my die cut piece down, and I'm just going to be doing an inlay with all the foiled paint pieces. Okay, and then for some reason when I did this, it totally reminded me of like the Hawaiian Islands. And look at that, it's just gorgeous. It's beautiful, like the shattered glass, the foiling, and just everything about it's just gorgeous. And it reminded me of the Hawaiian Islands, because every Hawaiian island has a different color that represents each island, so it kind of reminds me of that. So I kind of wanted to play off of that idea. I took a pattern paper from the that came in the kit as well, and I cut out some of these monstera leaves and inked up around the edges, and I'm just going to be adding that behind the palette here with some liquid adhesive. Okay, I just like that, just I don't know, for some reason it just reminds me of here, reminds me of home. With I'm using the Mama Elephant Bold Banner die. I've cut that out of some vellum, and I'm gonna be adhering this focal piece down onto the cardstock here, and then just kind of bending up the leaves a little bit. So pretty. And then on the True Colors, I took some alphabet stickers. Sorry, not True Colors. On the vellum piece, I put some alphabet stickers that spelled out True Colors, and then taking this bright pink card base, I'm going to be attaching that to attaching my panel to that card base, and this card is done. It wasn't a super fast and easy card just because of putting the foiling on those little pieces. Those were kind of a little bit of a headache, but well worth it. It's so beautiful, and it reminds me so much of, you know, here where I am. So, okay, first card done. Let's move on to the second. So in this video, I got some new toys that I got to use. So this one being the first by Tailored Expressions. It's their blender brushes. And so I'm going to be using that on this card here. I have a embossed resist panel that I'm going to be adding some color on, some distress inks. And yeah, I had a blast using these, and I'm really stoked about getting these blender brushes. Jeez, these blender brushes. Okay, so I'm gonna be starting out with this one. They have like all these different colors in Tailored Expression, in that little caddy that you saw, and so I just picking whatever colors handled. The brushes handles have different colors on them, so whatever color on the handle matches the color that I'm using that brush. So of course I didn't want to use the brushes, it's all white and pristine and clean, and you know, so I just did it very lightly, and then I'm going to go in a little aggressively, and I did, so you see that I am starting off the paper and bringing it on to my cardstock. Okay, and I'm going to go on to with the spun sugar. And I can tell you that these brushes totally, I don't know if any of you guys watch Laura Bassin. her channel, but she always says stuff like, oh, it goes on like butter. But this, seriously, it goes on like room temperature butter. Like not the froze, the kind that's in the refrigerator that you have a hard time spreading on your bread or your bagels, like the kind that was sitting room temperature and it just spreads. You'll see it here with this abandoned coral. The first two colors are sponge sugar and then teak linen. It's just, they're lighter colors in general, so it's a little harder to see, but here you'll just be able to see how beautifully the color goes on with these brushes. Okay, so I blended out my whole panel. Everything's good. It looks great. I took a little bit of vellum and cut out this Let's Celebrate die cut came in the kit as well with the shadow behind. So I cut the shadow piece out with vellum and then the Let's Celebrate with some white shimmer cardstock. And I cut a ton of monstera leaves and inked up the inked them up on the sides or on the outsides. Okay, so taking the same stick it adhesive, this piece came in the kit as well, and I'm gonna be placing that whole piece on there. I just needed something that was gonna hold those monstera leaves to the vellum piece without showing like a whole bunch of adhesive. So this is the best way that I came up with. I ran that through my die cutting machine with the shadow piece, and it came out beautifully. So now everything's all cut out. I don't have to go fussy cutting it or anything. The die did that for me. And then I'm going to be removing the backer on the stick it adhesive behind my sentiment piece here. And it's basically like I have a huge sticker, which is, yeah, which was what I thought would happen. So I'm stoked that it came out that way. Okay, so it's super sticky. And so what I'm going to do is grab one of the release paper that came with that adhesive and lay it down so that it doesn't get stuck to anything. And then just place all of my leaves behind the sentiment piece. Okay, and these cards are so fun to create. I use a lot of things from not just the kit, but I wanted to just showcase that you could use a lot of things, you know, incorporate different elements, mix them all together. I know a lot of people like to just stick within the kits and try to do what they can with the kits, but you know, everybody has, if you're a card maker, you have other tools, you know, that you can kind of incorporate with the kits. So here I put my card front onto a white card base. I cut off the excess and I added a couple of little hearts, and that one's done. So let's move on to the next. I have a striped background card stock. I cut out the shadow for that Let's Celebrate, and I'm making a shaker card. So you know, I filled it with some of the rainbow sequins that came in the kit. And I am gonna do a still shot at the end because I guess I had lost the footage of this video or of this particular card. So I'm just gonna show you a still shot and explain what I did. But I'm making a basic shaker card, adding some foam adhesive. I already did my, what is that word called? I already did my window acetate. And then what I decided to do was I filled it up with all the shaker bits. And then I was like, I'm not really good at putting things on straight if I'm not looking from above. So I just flipped it over, put all the shaker bits in the middle of my card base, and then just added my card front on to my card base. Okay, I'm pressing it down and then just making sure it works. And there she goes. All of the shaker bits. So fun. Okay, so what I did was I took an orange cardstock, cut out the Let's Celebrate, adhered that onto my the window of the shaker card, and then just added some stars and some sequins in random spots, and that is the card. Super simple, cute, colorful, done. Let's move on to the next card here. I took a panel and this is also a emboss resist panel. I inked it up with some Distress Oxide in Twisted Citron, Squeezed Lemonade, and some picked raspberry. Now these two little balloon shaker things, they come in the kit as well. And so I'm just adding some gold thread to the bottom, and I'm gonna just fill in some sequins onto my card panel, just kind of in the center so that it can all fit into the balloon. And I'm just going to be adding random stuff. I have some clear sequins, some iridescent sequins, just a bunch of random sequins, and just making sure that my sentiment's going to fit at the bottom, and I'm going to press that down. Okay, so there's my both of my shakers all filled up, and the string for the balloons is all glued into place. And then there's my cheers, and then that's basically it for that card as well. And then let's move on to the last card here. I took one of the pattern papers that came in the kit. I cut that panel down, and then I'm going to be using this happy birthday from the stamp set that came in the kit. I'm going to prep my surface, and I'm going to do some white heat embossing on this panel here. Okay, and so I did get another fun tool. So after about 7 or 8 years of having my heat gun, it broke. So I went and got this, the Wow embossing heat gun or heat tool. And let me tell you, I'm so excited about this thing. Of course, it's beautiful. It's brand new. It's white. It's so pretty. And it's got 2 different settings on it. It's really cool. So, I got that fun tool as well. So I'm taking one of the puffy stickers. I took a little Jackson Chameleon, and I just put her at the end of the birthday. And then taking my alcohol marker, I am just going to be filling in the words happy birthday just to make it stand out off of the panel here. Okay, and then I'm taking a bunch of enamel dots. So I was looking through my stash, and I just have so many of these enamel dots that, you know, it was such a huge thing just a little while back, and you know, I put it in a box and you tend to forget about them. And so I ended up looking for something, bumped into that box, and I was like, oh, I should be using these. They're gorgeous. So I'm just put it onto this card. I put it in the center of every flower that's on there. Took my Wink of Stella, adding some shimmer to the leaves. And then what I did was I took that pattern paper and the leftovers of the pattern paper, and I cut it into strips, and I actually added that to the inside of my card just to bring the pattern inside of my card, and I'll show you that in a little bit. But of course I thought I was gonna end it here, but I of course thought something was missing, so I took my white gel pen and I'm just adding a bunch of dots, just gonna fill this thing up with dots in the empty spaces. Okay, and then I'm gonna be adhering that to my card base. It's perfect. So fun and so busy. And then inside I have the pattern paper. I'm gonna try to focus in on this real quick. Okay, and there you go. You can see the pattern is now brought inside of the card as well. Okay, so here are some still shots of the 4 cards I made with this kit. I hope you enjoyed them. I truly love this card. This is like one of my favorites, this True Colors one. It just reminds me of the Hawaiian Islands. Yeah, so and then moving on to the second card that I didn't really get to show you. So here she is in all her glory. Alrighty, so thank you so much for stopping by, for watching this video. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Let me know below in the comments which card you were inspired by, which one you loved. I would love to know. Yeah, just give me a heads up on what, you know, some of your feedback. And then follow me on Instagram, NWongYuen Designs. I do post a lot of these cards here. I post them on my Instagram as well. So follow me on that as well. And yeah, I'll catch you on the next video. Hopefully, you know, it's already the festive season, so I'll be coming up with a bunch of holiday cards, that's for sure. Okay. All right. So, a hui ho and mahalo.